We all want to feel better. But what I didn't realize is that how many people actually turn to audio to help them with things like stress and anxiety. 76% of people in my generation are using sounds to heal themselves. But this is a world that I do not understand. How does it all work? Does it even work? Let's make it make sense.
In a different class, only trying to move up. I'm focused on my art. Every day I can improve. So
we're surrounded by sound, conversations, music, gigs, festivals, podcasts, and I work in radio, so I deal with sounds every single day. Sound healing is a really ancient practice. You might have seen those singing bowls used in spiritual and healing practices in Nepal or Tibet. But what about right here and now? What are the options? Aysha Bell teaches sessions on yoga, meditation, breathwork, and sound. She offers classes here in London and she does retreats all around the world.
Full moon today as well, so it's quite a nice time to do this kind of thing. Take a big inhale, exhale. Just very gently make your way onto your back. Healing from the inside out. Nice big exhale. Bring your awareness back into your physical body. Take a big inhale. Retain the breath for a second on the exhale, releasing anything that doesn't serve you.
That was like nothing I've ever done before in my life. It was incredible. I didn't know what you were using, and I think I liked that.
Yeah.
Sound went around me, and then I felt like it went through my body. Really nice, like freaky. I had no sense of time at all.
Yeah.
It's like the thoughts came, but they didn't like stick around.
Yeah.
They just kind of like passed through. And then the sound went back around again. Yeah. So how did you actually get into doing this as a job?
My first sound healing session I just thought was a bit of a joke. I was laughing, didn't really get it, everyone had to lie still. And then fast forward to sort of like 6 years later and I've trained as a yoga teacher, and then you start delving deeper into little things.
What actually happens within our bodies when we are hearing different sounds?
I don't know if you've ever seen sound underwater.
No.
How it changes its structure. So like if you've got like really dark music, the structure of the water changes and it can be quite aggressive looking, whereas if you've got like beautiful sound, it makes very different kinds of patterns, and it works very much the same on the body, in a physical sense. So what I would say to anybody that's skeptical is, how do you feel when you hear music and you go dancing? It lifts you, so it is a healing process.
We're back with Alpha today. Alpha, say hi.
Hi.
And we found this shop. It's called Buddha on a Bicycle. Great name. And they sell crystals, they do therapies, they do workshops. And there's someone who works in there who is a sound healer with the bowls.
It's actually, you need to breathe. When you play the bowl, you just need to relax and just enjoy it. Yeah, it's not need to be performance.
No, I feel like I'm on stage.
Yes.
Someone else, maybe this wouldn't work, but them skiing down a mountain would be their version of relaxing, and that's the way that they can heal. Or do you think that sound healing does have the opportunity to help anyone?
When you're singing, when you're moving, when your body is vibrating, it's like yoga, like Pilates or massage. The body have power to heal itself. This is only tools who is helping you to relax your body, but all the power is on you.
I think I started to understand that difference between the sound just putting you like in a good headspace and the sound actually having vibrations which vibrate at a frequency that affects your cells and your bones and your mind and everything in your body.
There's a lot of medical science to back up how sound can affect people in different ways. For example, we use binaural beats when in terms of bringing frequencies and getting people to sleep, so that can help tackle insomnia. We also recommend sound therapy in patients who suffer from dementia, because we know that the way that sound works and the different parts of the brain that affects, it can actually bring back memories and help memory loss. It can also help with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And often GPs can actually refer people for phonotherapy, which is sound therapy. Singing is a form of sound therapy, humming is a form of sound therapy, and then just listening is a form of sound therapy. Or if you're drumming or tapping, there's a physical form of sound therapy. I wouldn't have any concerns with people using sound apps unless you're neglecting a doctor or medical professional. I'd suggest if a young person is experiencing mental health issues to definitely seek help and speak out.
We've done the sound healing classes, I've been in that really zen space, but we wanted to find a more accessible option. So we found this event called SpokeX. Tickets were between £5 and £8. So opens up the door to so many more people, and we're swapping the singing bowls and the gongs for rap music and spoken word. The founder, Ariana, is really passionate about that connection between music and mindfulness and making sure that none of it feels too forced.
Don't match my tone, sticks and stones, can't break my soul. Words still alert me to the worst me, and the fact my biggest op is verse.
By default, music is a healing construct. It's the language of emotion. You create something based on a deep emotion that you have, translate it through music, and then that is going to heal the listener. So, however, one of the things that we found is not enough artists actually even know that. We see it represented in one way and just doesn't serve millions more people, especially young people, especially young men who actually contribute 80% of all suicides. The key is we're trying to change it by working with the very people who should be the leaders of healing and wellness.
Mental health research has found that 50% of European Gen Z have made a playlist to listen to when they're feeling stressed or sad, combining their love for music with mindfulness practices.
Neglect thoughts, and sometimes I'll even stress more. Tapping emotions, not giving them time to soak in. Happiness stems from joy, but sometimes vices.
Music to me is all about self-expression. I'm one of the composers, if you want to know, like I compose the sounds of what happens typically. Music kind of gives you creative license, creative expression, and it's really enjoyable. Like it's really, really fun to make and complete and release and perform music. So like, I just love it.
And do you think that young people growing up with more music than ever before, like at their fingertips, are accessing the right kind of sounds or the right kind of tools that can help with their mental health?
As soon as you open something like TikTok, like a sound just hits you. You don't even know what it is. You are kind of just open and susceptible to whatever is out there.
Yeah.
And again, you just have to discern it for yourself.
I've gathered plenty of anecdotal accounts, but there's only really one way to find out what's actually going on in my mind. I'm back with Alpha, and we're going to see someone called Nadia Hristova. She's a cognitive neuroscientist and neuropsychologist. She does these personalised neuro programs which can support with healing. So she's going to be using an EEG amplifier which measures the electrical activity in my brain. All of this basically means it's not just how I think sounds make me feel, but actually how it is affecting my mind when I listen to them.
So we're going to measure your physiology today in two ways. I'll put an EEG cap on your head. I'll show you how it looks like. It has 19 sensors and then 2 more for your ears. And I'll also put some ECG electrodes on your wrists so I can measure your heart. And I also put some electrodes on your fingers to measure your skin conductance levels. And in the end, we're going to have a full quantification of your state. How you feel before you listen to music, how you feel after.
So she's supposed to feel relaxed now.
Well, no, we're just taking a snapshot of her default state. How usually if you close your eyes, you would relax a little bit because you're not staying under pressure to interact with other people. These are her 2D brain maps, where you see white indicates within the norm. Everything that's warm color indicates that there's too much activity, cold color too little. So the only place where we have a tiny amount of too little is 1 Hertz, which is a very soothing, so she doesn't have enough of it. She's quite a restless person. everything else is a little tired and a little wired, so you see lots of reds.
Right, so that red, it means...
too much activity of all sorts of, you know, everything is like her brain is buzzing. Whereas while she's listening to the brown noise, it doesn't become a different brain. Still we have some, here a little bit of tiredness, but that clears quite a lot. You know,
wow, look at that.
Yeah. And it is a clear thing because look, such a good results. You have something, you have a message to send out. That's amazing. Welcome back.
Thank you. How was my brain?
Well, it did seem to respond to what you were listening to. I'm going to analyze the data right now and create the images and see how quantitatively different it was. Yeah. Very interesting, and now I show it to him, so probably he's made a few shots of it, is that also the skin conductance levels reliably went down. You could see it linearly decreased, which means there's no lie in that. You can't voluntarily do that. It's an automatic response. The brain, let's say, maybe you were meditating and cheating something. The skin, you can't cheat. And with the heart rate, you started with heart rate at 78, 79 beats per minute. And then what did we find? Like 63, 64, I think, when we last checked. Yeah. So it's like 10 beats down.
Wow. After seeing those results, if someone said to you that sound can actually be healing, sound can kind of heal me from overactive thoughts, what do you think?
I would definitely say yes, and not just after seeing that, but because sound is a sound wave at certain frequencies, and the brain has lots of frequencies, electrical frequencies, so frequency and frequency does impact. Yeah. You know, so the healing power of sound, there's no doubt about it. Whether it will be singing bowls, whether it will be just having a peaceful music at a very slow and relaxing frequencies.
And these images now, literally just the difference of how my brain is so active before listening to anything, and something as simple as brown noise, which I just see as so like monotone, and it's completely different. Next time I'll come, I'll listen to some Beyonce or something. We'll see.
Oh, that's also nice.
We'll see if she
voice.
Yeah. Let's see if Beyonce can heal me. When I asked this question, I did not think that I would be connected with sound healers, app developers, doctors, neuroscientists. And I'm so happy that I've found all these little tools along the way, which I am implementing and putting into my life. Just simple things like trying out different beats and frequencies on YouTube, to being more intentional with what podcasts I listen to, because I know the words spoken can actually affect my mood. So if you feel like you've got a lot going on up here, I really do recommend just trying out some of these things that are totally free in a lot of cases. Speak to the people around you. Talk about how your different senses are affecting your mood, whether it's a friend, a family member, or a professional. Let me know if you try out any form of sound healing. I would really love to know how it affects you. I've left some resources in the description box, and you can check out the other videos in the Make It Make Sense series in this playlist. I'll catch you next time.